Today, we are going to talk about Marketing Pro's new specialist AI lead in the business who is saving us hundreds and hundreds of hours a month. We are going to take a deep dive into Richard's numbers, revenue, profit, projections, and we're also going to talk about Marketing Pros, the key number that they use. We're also going to talk about stroke wards, South End Hospital, the inefficiency of some of the medical situations, and how in the 1980s you could still have a child deep into your 40s if you're a woman.
Donna, come and work for Mahara.
You don't even know where Donna is. You're never going to fucking find her. You are never going to find her. You will never know where she is.
I'm going to send Luke out. We're going to go and get Donna.
I'm going to send Cal out with a fucking knife.
Let's go.
Luke's fucked.
Is there a problem group, man? That was the best experience ever.
Right. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Founders Therapy Podcast with Doug and Rich. With Doug and Rich.
Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Doug.
I'm a little bit concerned for two reasons this morning. Reason one, you're massively hungover, aren't you?
I'm okay. I'm all right. But yeah, touch.
Can Calvin put that in?
Yeah, I think
Is that
so.
unacceptable?
Anyone's allowed after work drinks on a Thursday. So yes, I think so.
And number two, I have briefed you 0% on what we're doing today. So you are total riff. I was going to send you a WhatsApp last night, but then I fell asleep. So you are coming in ice.
I'm coming in ice and not necessarily in the best, kind of like condition I could be in, but that's okay.
What I'd like you to do while I'm delivering the first story, you can use that time to think what the fuck you're going to say about your week. Shall we do that?
Yes.
Okay, first story. Do you know that both of my elder brothers are in the police? Is that something that we've ever discussed?
No. I didn't even know you had older brothers.
Yeah, much older. My parents had me when they were really old. Massive mistake. So, one of them...
50s?
60s. 25 years older than me.
Hang on. Seriously?
Yeah.
25 years older than you. So how old were your parents when they had you?
Like my dad was 50 something and my mum was like 47.
Wow. And that was natural pregnancy at 47.
Totally natural. Yeah. My mum went to the hospital thinking she was dying. But they were like, no, you're just pregnant.
That's incredible at 47. Incredible.
1983.
Yeah,
Pretty
even
wild,
more incredible. Yeah, more incredible then. Okay. Right.
So, my elder brother was in the police, quite senior murders. That was his thing. He was one of the most experienced murder detectives in the UK. If not, he says number one, but definitely did a lot of fucking murders.
He says
number
one.
Yeah, he says he's one. So he retired when he was about 50, because you start in the police when you're quite young, so you can retire quite early. So he's got all this time. What the fuck am I going to do? So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna join the cold case unit. So he starts doing, I think it's civilian. I'm not 100%, but essentially there's this crew of old retired coppers in their 50s and 60s that just trundle through these old murders from like the 90s that Amazing. By his own admission, no one gives a fuck about anymore. So he's trundling through these. He's doing it for he goes in and essentially it's just all these guys, they're sitting in, they're just trying to get out the house, have a coffee, do their fantasy football, right? It's just a laugh. Not his mentality. His mentality is I'm going to fucking go in, solve some shit. So he's deep in. He's looking at DNA shit. He's into interviews. He's going out to rank estates in East London to interview people. Yeah, hardcore Columbo shit. And his manager pulls him aside 2 weeks in and he's like, what are you doing? You need to slow down. This isn't how we do shit here. No one's going to get that gag, but you need to fucking slow down. And the reason I'm telling you this story, seemingly completely random story, is remember last week I said we've hired somebody to be our AI lead.
Yes.
Okay. this person, Donna. And
Forensic.
she had been in AI for about 18 months or so, working for Authority Hacker, who are partners. They have a stake in.
You've been working for them for,
Marketplace.
yonks, yeah.
So she's come in, and it reminds me of my brother in them. She's so quick. She's like, come in. I was like, Donna, I sent her this little document. I was like, these are a few of the things I just want to get going. And just every day, it's like, boom, right, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this. I'm like, Donna, you need to, you are going 5x faster than I can even follow this shit.
Call your jets, Donna.
Yeah. I want you to go this fast, but just to let you know, I am not on your fucking level.
No, because you've known AI 18 months longer than I have, because I started using it in February 2025. Yeah.
Yeah, she's built all this infrastructure, and she's doing some wild shit. Like, our recruitment process is all just being completely automated.
So what's she doing? Can you tell me what she's doing? Are you keeping up with it?
I know what she's doing. Yeah, no, I do. So this week we're working on the recruitment process. So what we were doing is we're speaking to a candidate, typing the notes.
World War II, right?
Okay, cool. Typewriter, typing the notes of what they were saying. Then we were like putting them on a database somewhere. We were writing a profile about them. So we constantly I'd be like, cool, can you just tell me about this candidate? And we'd be like looking back through our notes. Now, right, conversation with candidate, recorded, notes just perfectly formed into a document. That's the first thing. Second thing, into a database, right, that she's working on, that you can then interrogate with AI. Oh, hi, database. Can you find me some people with some, graphic design, blah, 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 that have worked for like a big brand? Really fucking good. Then it can also create the profiles that we send to clients, as in the summary. Really good, like, this is the summary. And then it can create CVs that are like really high quality CVs, exactly what we want. And all of this totally automated. Pretty wild, isn't it? So she's doing that. And what's interesting, I think, is that the role that she is doing, whatever you call it, is going to be absolutely huge in the future. So like, we've already got clients coming to us now that want someone to come in and implement AI in their business. And I'm just starting to think about, like, I could probably place Donna 5 times over because the skills that she has as a joke.
Maybe you should. I mean, I know it's ops, but maybe you could.
We just need to get more people trained up to that skill set, basically. And if you can, they're just going to be flying off the shelves, because it's the job of the future. Like, one Donna saves 20 staff members.
Yeah, I mean, you think about, it's about being skilled, right? Industrial Revolution stuff. I suddenly know how to operate this machinery, and then I can create X, Y, and Z so much more effectively than someone so could without the machinery. It's a tool. If you're skilled in a tool and you understand how to increase your productivity with it, you're going to be a valuable asset. Not to call a human being an asset, but you know what I mean. It's Donna for days. Great. Come on,
Donna's an assassin.
I think you need to send Donna to Mahara. She's in Cape Town, right?
I'm not even telling you. Fuck off.
Donna, come over to the light side. We're just down the road. Got a penthouse office. Balconies. Doug doesn't have balconies. Do you have a balcony? We've got 2.
No. We've got shit plywood. Okay, number 2. Have you thought about a topic? Have you thought about anything in your week? What's happened?
I've had a really good week, actually. We've been recruiting to your world. So Marco left. Marco was our level 2 growth lead. Great guy. He's going to transition over to being a referrer, like a venture scout. He's going to go and do an MBA. So we've been recruiting. So we're going to bring in a level 1 and level 2. It's been in lots of that. One thing I will say is a huge distraction. Like the amount of time it sucks out, like meeting these people, like culture fit interviews, technical interviews, this and this. Me and Luke talking about which ones we want to hire. God, it's time suck. I can't wait for it to be done. But it's been really, really good because we've got some quality people. Like, again, just referencing just Cape Town and South Africa. Like, I just wouldn't want to recruit this job in the UK. I just wouldn't. Like, the people I'm meeting, the drive and the capability, at least from what I can see as the initial, few interviews, proofs in the pudding. But I don't know. I just love having a business in Cape Town in South Africa. The people are just so good, smart, driven. It's wicked. So yeah, so that's been the recruitment's been a big push. We'll hopefully have those two things sorted soon. We've been doing our fund deck. So we're raising capital after we got, shall we say, sideswiped. So I've been doing that, which is interesting. So lots of numbers and datas and positioning and like what's the USP and all of that at Mahara. And then just day-to-day stuff. But it's been a good week. It's been really good.
So for me, then, let's talk about, we're just looking at our numbers, Marketing Pros. So that business has been, last 3 quarters, it's kind of lost money as we've kind of been building it. This quarter, it's going to make some money, which is a massive corner we've turned in that business. And there's a few things that I just want to talk about in terms of how that has happened. Because I think there's a lot of lessons that I've had. So the first one is just making sure that we have this routine. So we look at X number on X date every week. And we've been doing that, for a while. Sounds simple, but loads of businesses.
Or like a scorecard. Like a scorecard.
You could call it a scorecard. We just look at one.
What's the metric?
The metric is net new margin, monthly margin. So the difference between what we pay the people and then what we charge the client, and then the growth of that each month. So it goes down when people leave, obviously, and then goes up when we place people. And so we literally just look at that number over every week. We just look at it. We've got an operation at the moment called Operation Easter Bunny, and we've got a target to get to for increased margin by Easter. Clever, isn't it?
It is clever. Have you ever read Traction by Gino Wickman? Entrepreneurial Operating System.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so he speaks to having a scorecard, and our scorecard's in shambles, to be honest, at the moment. But having a scorecard where if you're sitting on a beach or you're away on holiday, you know that your business is healthy. You can just check into that spreadsheet and it's all right. We've got 8 metrics now, I think, 8 or 9.
Can I tell you what I think about that stuff? Am I honest?
If I first said no, you'd do it anyway, but yes.
So not you, I don't mean you, but I just mean me and most businesses I see, they just look at way too much shit. So it reminds me, listen to this story. So bit of a sad story, but got a good end. In hospital, South in hospital, right? My dad's gone in.
You?
Not what
is this you?
I'm in. Me personally, I'm in there, but not as a patient. So I'm in there. My dad's in there. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. He's in the hospital on the ward. So I go in. He's gone in with some infection. I'm like, guys, he's not looking great, is he? I gone in the morning. It's like Sunday morning. I was like, he looks to me like he's had a fucking stroke. Has anyone noticed that? Clearly, any fucker that knows anything about medicine, this guy's had some kind of stroke. He's gone from talking normally like we are now to not good. And they're like, oh, no, I think he's just a bit tired. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that looks to me like he's had some kind of quite bad stroke. Can somebody just check that? And they're just stumbling out of their little back room. Oh, I think he's just a stroke. They call the stroke coordinator guy, the on-call, whatever. He takes about 4 hours to trundle down. Gives him a few. Actually, you know what? I think he has had a stroke. I'm like, okay.
You're fucking kidding. They said he had just looked tired.
Just looked tired. I was like, cool. Do you want to do something about that? And so they kind of.
Oh man, wow. Okay.
They gaffed it out. They sorted it out. He was ultimately okay, but they had to do some nephrostomy, hack out his kidneys because if your kidneys are fucked, you get strokes, whatever. So they sorted it eventually. But what is wild to me is you go into their office and they've got this massive database up on the wall with patient, and he's got all this data, 20 fucking fields. And I'm like, where's the field that says he's had a stroke? Can you just go and look at your fucking patients, not just sit in your... don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of respect for the medical community.
Yeah, I understand.
But my point, obviously, is I'm just like, what is the key metric? Can we just... Maybe the key metric should be keeping these people alive. Can we do that? Anyway, in business, for me, I've been there. I'm not saying where you are. I think your scorecard's probably exceptional. But
it's not as shit. But what we track is great, but our scorecard is not good. Ben and I have got to redo it. We've been waiting for 3 months. Yeah.
we just have always tracked too much shit, and now I'm just like, with this business, we just track this one number, because that one number kind of tells us most things.
So
Anyway,
are revenues up with you? Is that margin? Obviously, margins like to do with profit, but are revenues up and cost of sales and stuff? How is it going?
so a few things have happened that have enabled us to become profitable. So number one, some people left the business. So we cancelled the course as well. So we don't have all of that time and energy and cost going into the formal training course. We've got this routine. We are just laser focused now on the core business of just placing people and that whole process and just making every little step of it so much better. And we're just really just focusing on only working with clients that we know we can absolutely nail. Because this is the kind of business, because there's no cost up front to use us. People just come in, find us someone, whatever. And now it's like we take on much smaller number of projects, but ones where we're like, we can add massive value. We know we can find you someone here. And so those are the things. In terms of revenue, revenue's going up. And then kind of margin is just sort of following it. To answer the question. Yeah. Tell me about Mahara. You just told me offline there, Rich. Best month ever, all time. Is that January 2025?
January 2025. So our top month before was 293,000, I think, which was May 23 before it got really tough and horrible. And we did 296. We were anticipating 320, but 296. Net profit, all right. There's a few things you have to, deal with, but okay.
What is it?
Net profit last month, 14%.
Fuck, that's 14%. Good.
14%.
Off what? Off
296.
Do that math for me.
I think it was like
40 grand.
Yeah, something around that. Yeah.
Shit, that's not bad, is it?
Yeah, I mean, next month the business mix is the biggest shift. Like when you don't build ventures at cost and you start to build stuff that you charge a day rate for, you can make some money. Next month is meant to be 320 with like a 55 grand profit.
Shit, that's pretty good, isn't it, for this kind of business? And
I think so. I mean, our target for the year is 18%, and we can track that on the pod about how we do against that. But we're hopefully going to come out at around 18% net profit margin. Yeah, I think services businesses should do about 20, right? Ish 2025.
Particularly the way you've got it set up with kind of overseas and that sort of stuff, I would say, yeah.
And also 30% of what we do is at venture at cost, right? Which we get equity for. So if you added that back, it would be much higher, I think.
How fucked is your balance sheet for people? Because there's a hole in there, isn't there?
There's a hole from 2023, 24. Yeah, we're chopping most of it back. So of our I guess directors' loans, which we had from 23, 24. To kind of get us through the really tough spots, we're going to be chopping that back mostly in the next 12 months, and we should be 80-90% done after the year.
In 12 months,
yeah. And we're sending it back like in tranches that is enough to be able to make sure we can pay our VAT, make sure we can pay our good salaries, make sure we've got enough money for exchange, because we do the exchange between the offices. And be able to grow. So Ben's doing a really good job of just measuring the financial side of it and staying very, very tight on stuff and making sure we do the right things when. And that's what he's incredibly good at that. But yeah, I think, we continue the way we at now. We've got fairly hefty targets. We've got like a £1.8 million new revenue target. We did
What would that take for this calendar year? What would that take your
overall
to? Yeah.
4.5. Assuming we don't get a big decay on retained. So our retained typically decays. We're looking for growth this year.
So you're saying you could do 20% or 4.5?
Yeah, our target is 687,000 profit.
Fuck, that'd be good. How many people in the business?
By the end of the year, 104. We're at 97. Boom. That's the target. That's the budget. And we share this around with the business. I tell everyone from an intern through to the senior leaders about what we're aiming for. We're very, very transparent about what we're looking for. So we've got a 4.5 target, I think it is 1.8 million from new revenue. We did 1.15 last year. So that's a jump, 40% jump. It's big. It's hefty. but we got good retained. And the customers that we started working with are like really quite established and are good. And we've got great relationships with them. So we're hoping that we continue to build product together, and that allows us to go. And, 4.5 is not, it's still tiny, really, still tiny.
Yeah, but 20%, and you own how much again? What percentage?
Ben and I both own about 36% of it.
Oh, so I don't think that is tiny. I mean, because
but I mean, this year we're just because we are consolidating, if you will, and sorting out the last 2-3 issues. We don't feel it. In 2026, 27, we'll be probably going for $1 million profit, I would imagine.
That's when it starts to get serious, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's when it's like you feel like, the last 15 years have been worth it. I think that's when you start to feel it. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy with where we are. I'm delighted with the way the growth team's working. I'm delighted with the way Ben's got production nailed with Nick. I think it's really good. And we're just building great product with really nice people. It's like a very symbiotic time at the moment in Mahara. It's really good. And it's been bleak, so it feels really good.
All right, let's wrap it there. Mahara, what they're going to do is, unlike most software dev agencies who will say they'll build you something, what Mahara will do is they will build you something that somebody actually needs. And that's the magic here. It's not about writing code, it's about solving problems. And what they do that's really good is they solve problems now with the absolute fucking cutting edge, tip of the spear AI. So
to do that,
you don't need AI, you don't need software developers, you don't need fucking technology, you need to solve problems. That's what Mahara are going to do for you. Marketing Pros is going to find you. We've spoken today about talent in Cape Town, South Africa. We both think that it's the best place to get international remote talent. It is. We both have offices there. You don't need an office because we can get you somebody elite for an exceptionally good price who will have access to our office, and we'll do all the boring compliance shit for you where we get them hired and they're part of a community and we make sure that they deliver for you. So it's probably one of the best outsourced services. It is the best actually in the world. That's the first thing and the last thing. And Rich, great to chat to you. I will look forward to chatting next week.
Be